Hi everyone, on this week's episode we're going to do some experiments with chocolate. So most of you all know that I've been doing experiments for quite a few years, and ever since I started there's always been one comment that keeps popping up. Chocolate. Now I've got to admit I've been putting off doing this episode because, as you can see by my beautiful physique, I love chocolate and I just didn't want to ruin these. So I came up with a plan. Mini chocolates. Now I'm not going to lie, the main reason that I'm using mini chocolates is so I don't use a boatload of resin. Now I'm assuming the reason that most of you wanted me to use chocolate was to see if we could get it to melt, and of course that would make for a really cool pot cam. Now I started thinking that maybe we should try different kinds of chocolate. So I've got some plain milk chocolate, I've got chocolate with peanuts in it, I've got chocolate with honeycomb, some with wafers, and some with peanut butter. Well, I'm assuming it's peanut butter. I've got to be honest, I've never had one of these. It's now time for me to give you a quick rundown of how I plan on doing this. I've already gone ahead and poured myself a little base layer in the bottom of this container. I'm then going to take this drill bit and drill a small hole right in the centre. And just like I did with the strawberry and the grape, I'm going to cut off a little bit of toothpick and glue it in with some UV resin. And then once I've done that, I'll be able to take my chocolates, put it on the skewer, fill it with resin, and then watch what happens on PotCam. I've been having to think of what order I want to do these in, and I think it might be best to start with a control, like the plain milk chocolate, and then we'll work our way up until we reach the peanuts. Now I do have one other bar that I haven't shown you guys. A caramello koala. I think this one will be pretty cool, so I think we'll do it last. Looks a bit tall. I think we might only use half of it. Well, I didn't expect that. That's insane. Chocolate melts at 32 degrees Celsius. and that's at 85. Does anyone know what happened there? Well, it's now time for the Reese's. Now I think maybe the chocolate might have been too thick, so I guess this might have the same result. Well, that looks like we got the same result. That's definitely not what I expected. It's almost like we're burning it rather than melting it. It does look pretty cool in there though. Check that out. We've trapped some sort of liquid. I'm assuming that might be oil. Next up is the Kit Kat. Now I've got high hopes for this one. Because there's only a thin layer of chocolate covering the wafer, I'm hoping this one melts. Well, it looks like the Kit Kat broke through the surface. And it's still bubbling away. So it still just looks like we're burning the chocolate rather than melting the chocolate. Now I think I'm still going to go ahead with the same process for the Crunchy and the Snickers. But as for the Caramello Koala, I think I might hold off and I'll try this one a different way. I think I might cut this in half. That way we can expose the honeycomb. looks like that saw some serious heat. It just looks like a piece of charcoal. Hopefully that pot cam looked pretty good. I'm now going to move on to the next one, the Snickers bar, but at the end of this video I'm going to do a close-up shot of all these blanks, that way we can see how they look. I can smell scorched peanuts. I hope this is a good one. Wow, got a big fracture. Still smoking. That fracture looks so cool. I think this might be our best one yet. So it's now time for our final one, the Caramello Koala. Now I said I was going to do this one a little different, so I've got some super slow setting resin, which means it'll take about 12 to 18 hours to cure. Now because it's a super slow setting resin, it means that the heat will gradually build up. Now that'll be both good and bad. The good thing is it'll probably melt the chocolate, but the bad side is it'll take around 12 to 18 hours to do so. Now unfortunately my pot can battery just doesn't last that long, but what I can do is I can mix the resin, leave it sit for around 3 to 4 hours, then pour it in. And then hopefully with the length of time we have on pot cam, we might be able to see something. Well, I guess that's some sort of a result. So I just went and watched PotCam so I could see what you guys saw, and it looks like he fell over in the first 2 minutes. But I guess that's not surprising since I did wait for the resin to heat up a little bit, but I didn't expect this. Nothing. No melting at all. It didn't even ooze any caramel anywhere. He kind of looks like someone who's had a little too much to drink. Well, I got to admit, All these results have surprised me, especially this one. I really thought this one was going to work. Now if you guys have any suggestions as to how we might be able to melt chocolate in resin, let me know. Well, that's it for this week's episode. I know it didn't quite go to plan, but I had heaps of fun making it, and I hope you guys had heaps of fun watching it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.